about Right, so hello everybody, welcome back to Witness Show. Hmm. Right, so yeah, I just wanted to actually, that was a couple of brief introductory videos to it's all going to be about politics again. I would like to talk. We'll talk rubbish about games and stuff later on. Okay, we'll talk rubbish about games and stuff later on. I'm going to be here making videos for a while. Um, yeah. So I suppose. How do I put it? Right. Let's talk about a bit about. Let's talk a bit about our. Talk a little bit about what's going on with this sort of what's going on with these things of board control, things like that. With lines of Brexit, all this kind of stuff. Not particularly in line, whether it's lines of Brexit or whether it's lines of well, it is, of course, it's lines of Brexit. It's still immigration, border control, things like that. I think Keir Starmer should quietly have a quiet word with the bloke behind. Quietly have a quiet word. You know, before I get into what I was actually going to say was funny enough. I have some quite good third parties working with me because I do have mental health conditions. I have some very good third parties apart from mental health services, very good third party advocates, things like that. Not just third party advocates, but people who can actually get stuff done for me. And funnily enough, I think I've been receiving checks. I've been receiving checks on my. I've been receiving for the amount for the amount of benefits payments I'm on. My benefits payments have been increasing, and also for the amount of benefit. I think that's one thing to do with our local council, but also. For the amount of benefit checks that I'm actually on, which isn't entirely benefits anymore. I don't think. Well, it is, but how do I put it? I think basically what's actually happened is that someone in one of my third party work business quite advocates. I like to call him a third party advocate, as he does help me with a lot of stuff. So basically, how do I put it? I think it's actually I think I've actually been very quietly filed for retirement, a bit like how what would have happened in the recession when I was actually born in 1991, just over 30 years ago. I believe there was a recession in 93 as I saw on one of Phil Different Biases videos. I believe there was a recession in 93, and it's part of the reason why absolutely no one really remembers John Major at all, because it's probably one thing then. Now it really is a national grid again because no one can afford gas and electric, and everyone with things like state pensions, all the working class now. Even me at the age of 31 are very quietly filing for retirement. I mean, if you do have the option, I would go for it. So I'm receiving quite sizable cashier checks in the attached to my. I would like some verification on it, actually, to be honest. I'm receiving quite. I have this hasn't happened to me before. I'm receiving quite. For the amount of money I have, I'm receiving quite sizable cashier checks attached to my gas and electric bills. So I'm assuming that's part of a. Pension scheme, part of a work-based pension scheme I was put on, or something like that. When I was younger. So yeah. So now. I may actually be a formerly retired chef, by all fits and standards. So yeah, so yeah, it's a bit like no one's going to remember John Major, and basically no one's going to remember our first African American Prime Minister, are we? So yeah, I think we should quietly put his. I think we should quietly put Mr. Sunak's. Quietly put Mr. Sunak's. Quietly put Mr. Sunak's. I think we should quietly put Mr. Sunak's statue in Brixton and see what happens to it. Whether it's whether it's loved and cared for in the middle of Brixton. With I'm sure they would love and care for it very much. I have been to Brixton. It's a bit it's a bit of a dry place. Brixton, a bit of a dry place. Yeah. Basically, I suppose. Yeah. I mean, how do I put it? Yeah. So. I think what we need to do is I think we need to get Keir Starmer to quietly have a word with Rishi Sunak behind closed doors, and quietly tell him that it has absolutely nothing to do with Guantanamo Bay, absolutely nothing whatsoever. Anyway, I think I'll leave that one there. Goodbye.